All right, back to back. Practice makes purpose. So this is my second Mario Brick experiment, and the way that works is basically I had carved out a chunk of time on my calendar several weeks ago, and the goal is to honor that and schedule around it, which I did very successfully with the first Mario Brick, less successfully with this one. In fact, I had scheduled out a huge chunk of the day, like I think it was like 8 to 3 p.m. or something, almost like the whole day. Um, and I had found myself shrinking that, kind of allowing myself a little bit of giving myself an allowance to shrink that, saying, oh, well, if it's 3 to 5 hours, then I could kind of pare it back to five and then three, and finally down to one, or what may actually in this moment feel a little less than one. And there's a valuable lesson in that, probably several, but one is that something is better than nothing. I was actually sharing this exercise with one of my clients, and because she had received some instruction about how to bring more play into her life, and she really liked this idea. She's modified it. She's made it her own. One of the ways she modified it was she just dropped a bunch of 1 hour blocks of time into her calendar, sprinkled throughout her calendar, and that's going to be play for her. And one of the ways we actually think about play in my work is we get in touch with our inner child. And there's actually a way to personify that, give it a voice, talk with it. And that's what's actually coming up for me right now. You know, when I met my inner child, my wounded child, about a year ago, the instructions it gave me were to go to a park and play kickball. And I did that with myself, which frankly felt a little strange, maybe looked a little strange. And yet it was very rewarding because I actually was giving that child part of me what it needed in that moment. And that's extremely important for any of us to do. We all have that part or more than one child. And if they're neglected as we grow into adults, then we might feel less whole. We might feel, afraid and angry and sad and all sorts of things that are actually coming from that child because they're feeling neglected rather than some external force in the world or something like that. So that's what I'm going to do. I am going to walk down to the park that's near where I live now and bring my trusty kickball that I bought. I actually bought this last year going to Nicaragua with Ignite. I was going to give it to some kids and it just didn't fit in my suitcase. So now I'm using it with my own kid. But this lovely little yellow kickball, which you probably noticed, my drums are yellow. I'm a big fan of the color yellow. So here we go. I think I'll do one at the end, but I'm not gonna do the live through the whole thing because I really want to be with the experience. So I'll see you on the other side. Bye.